Most real estate agents, whether they're brand new or have been in the game for 5 or 10 years, are leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table in repeat and referral business because they don't know what to do or how to interact with their clients post-close. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 things that you have to do in order to generate those referrals and have those lifelong clients. The first thing you need to do is have an incredible Rolodex. You need to think of yourself as the center of your client's real estate universe. Anything from mortgage brokers to inspectors to transaction coordinators, you need to have someone that you can refer to your clients for any of their real estate needs. And this is from the word go, really. I mean, the first time you work with a buyer, maybe they're a first-time home buyer, you need to be putting them in touch with a mortgage broker that is incredibly knowledgeable about working with first-time home buyers, what grants they might be eligible for, that's not going to be too pushy or salesy, has great people skills, and is going to work with them and make sure the transaction goes seamless, all the way down to having good home inspectors, having good closing attorneys. Again, everyone you refer or interact with or have your clients interact with in a real estate transaction is a reflection of you. So it's very important that you're constantly making sure the people you're working with and that are in your circle are the absolute best that you can get around. This is going to go a very long way towards generating referral and repeat business with those clients. Having a smooth transaction is going to go an incredibly long way towards both generating referral and repeat business. Now, if you're wanting a more detailed guide of the 5 people that you absolutely have to have in the Rolodex, just click the link right up there. I made a whole video on it just for you. Now, the second thing you need to do to make sure that you have lifelong business from the clients that you work with as well as referrals is not being afraid to go above and beyond with your closing gift. These people that you're working with, both on the buyer and on the seller side, are going to be seeing exactly how much money you're making from the transaction. How do you think it's going to appear to a buyer if you work with them through this deal, you work with them for a couple of months, you walk away with a $12,000, $15,000, $25,000 check from the closing table, and your present to them is a cheap little cheese board or something that has absolutely no utility from it? It's going to actually do you more harm than good. Something that I did a lot when I was working in resale is I would go out and I would buy a really nice bottle of liquor or a really nice bottle of wine, depending on what the client wanted, something that would be enough to really genuinely blow them away with, oh my God, you didn't have to do this. Because again, you are constantly searching for a way to separate yourself from the other real estate agents, the real estate agents that are not going to go above and beyond for their clients, the real estate agents that don't care enough to say, hey, I remember you said you really like drinking tequila, here's this really nice bottle of tequila for you. Or hey, I know you said you liked Malbec wine, here's a really nice bottle of Malbec, congratulations on the new home. It's going to go much, much further than, oh, here's a little cheese board. Right now is another example. What we're doing at a new home community that I'm selling is we're giving everyone a $200 or $250 gift card to Amazon for their new home. Hey, go out and take this $200, whatever you need for the home, maybe it's a vacuum, whatever the case may be, something to actually provide value as opposed to here's some cheap little cheese board. Now, the last thing that you need to do in order to make sure that you have clients and referral partners for life from your past clients is actually just don't ghost them. And I know what you might be thinking, oh wow, well of course, just keep following up with them. It's actually so common that there's an entire phrase for it, and it's called orphaning clients. Happens far more often than you would think, and it is the dumbest thing you can possibly do. However, you need to make sure that you're going about the follow-up with these clients in the right manner. Now, if it were me, some things that I would be on the lookout for while I'm working with that client and getting them towards their new home, check out 1, find out when their birthday is. 2, write down when the anniversary of the closing of their home is. 3, don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money and send them something nice for Christmas. A couple of years back, I actually went out and worked with a company that sent out cookie tins, and I sent a big ass cookie tin to all of my past clients. And some people will sit there and say that that's silly and that you shouldn't do that, but in reality, you need to think in terms of what the return on the investment is. If I can spend $1,000 to send cookies to 10 past clients, and that keeps me in their mind, and then one of those clients ultimately decides to work with me again in the future, well worth the investment. I've had it actually happen on multiple different occasions where I've helped clients move into a home, and then for unforeseen circumstances, whether that's work or whether that's family things or whether they have to move home, whatever the case may be, they actually wind up turning around and using me to sell their home. I've had it before where people have actually referred me to family members. Again, you need to be going about this in a thoughtful manner. So now what I wouldn't do in order to make this happen is just be generic, be bland like everyone else. Every other realtor is sending a happy 4th of July or happy Halloween or whatever the low effort text message of the month is. Do not do this. You need to constantly be portraying yourself as someone that is willing to go above and beyond for the clients, whether that is in the actual service for the client or whether that is in the appreciation for the client. These little things will go a long way, and it is ultimately going to put you into a class of one instead of running around fighting to get out of the crab bucket with all the other realtors who are looked at as a commodity and not as a true best in their class agent. Something else that I would recommend, go ahead and jot down the closing date of their home. Shoot them a text message or send them a card. I would prefer, frankly, if you did a card on their anniversary of their move-in. Hey, it was such a pleasure to work with you. Can't believe it's already been a year. Looking forward to catching up with you soon. Again, don't be afraid to shoot them a phone call, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. Check in with them, see how they're doing. Something that I do frequently in the new home community that I'm selling, they'll typically give you a move-in date. Shoot them a text message a couple days after the move. Hey, how did the move-in go? Did anything come up? Again, I'm constantly interacting with these people on a day-to-day basis when it would be far too easy to sit there and be like, yep, got that check. All right, on to the next one. Again, you need to be thinking about cultivating a community with your clients. You need to be cultivating and nurturing a relationship with them, not looking at them as just a one-off check. Be invested in their long-term success and their long-term happiness in their home, and trust me, it will come back tenfold through them working with you again, through them referring you to other potential buyers or sellers, to them singing your good graces online, leaving you reviews. As always, you need to be going above and beyond with your service, both before the deal and after the deal. If there's any takeaway from this, again, it is that you need to be cultivating this community and this relationship with your buyers that is not just going to terminate once that contract closes. You need to think about this like they're going to be someone you're going to work with for many years to come. At the end of the day, people typically move here in the US every 7 to 8 years. The likelihood that they have a friend that's coming up on that cycle, a family member, or they themselves will come up on that cycle while you're still an active real estate agent is quite high. So if you want other tips or tricks or a blueprint on how to get to $100,000 in GCI as a realtor, you can just click the link right down below in the description. I've got a free 5-day email course that gives you the blueprint, the roadmap on how to go from a brand new agent to an agent doing 6 figures a year in income. All it costs you is just your email address, no credit card, no any of that. So if you're interested, make sure to check that out. Again, my name is Blanton, and as always, I'm here to see you guys win. Talk to you soon.